Being invisible in a fight means not taking any damage, even when someone's straight on your wall. If you like getting better at the game, make sure you subscribe because we're aiming for 18,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So subscribe to help me hit my target. The Vino peak is a super useful peak, and it all starts with this edit right here. If you've ever been in this situation, you have someone below your ramp like this, and you kind of just edit into them either like this, or you edit into them like this, and you just make a complete 50-50 edit. Well, the Vino peak removes all of that. So what you're going to want to do is when you've hit a double cone over someone like this, or a double, or even a ramp like this, you can do something really simple. You can flip the ramp like this, and then instead of editing like this and taking a full 50-50, you're going to just edit 3 tiles like that. And now you can hit a really nice jump shot, hit them and reset, and even place a wall afterwards. It doesn't really matter. But in fast motion, it looks a little bit like this. Very quick, very secure, and it means if someone is down here and they're expecting a double edit, and you suddenly go like this and then jump, they literally can't even see you from here. You're literally invisible to them, just like he told you in the title. With the cone, it would look something like this. You just do the exact same thing and you jump and shoot. Very simple, and that is why Vino made it, because he's one of the best players in the entire world. If you want to practice your peaks just like this in an empty map with literally 0 delay, check out my map, which will be on the screen right now. It's the JKC 0 delay freebuild map. If you want to find it without the code, just type in JKC in the search bar. Speaking of code JKC, if you could use it in the front item shop, that would mean the world to me. We are on 8 supporters so far this month, and it is the 3rd of January. So it'd mean the world if we could get some more people using it in the new year. Our second peak requires it to be a little bit unexpected, but it's still a great peak in the big old Euro 2025. So in this peak, the guy is a layer above you, and this happens a lot in fights. This might be a really useful peak to just whip out. What we're going to do is we're going to place a ramp, a floor, we're going to edit and place a ramp like this. Now, I think you should do this edit personally because it does give you a little bit of a right-hand peek. But the idea is to jump up, not too close so you're like really exposed, but like slightly backwards. So you can still hit the shot on whoever's up there, but you're not super exposed to them. This is a peak best done when the player has no idea what you're about to do. So if there's a player right here, I would simply go along here, place a floor, jump, and hit a really nice shot on him. Really unaware, and then I might come up here, maybe day cone him, move to the side, like... You guys know how to piece up someone, like I'm not going to tell you all of that, but the peak itself is super useful. You can even do it on someone directly above you. If you edit out like this, go round, place this, jump this, and then jump. It is a really nice way to get a shot off on someone. Peaks are literally what fighting is about, and you can learn to get way better at fighting with the new Destiny Jesus Fighting Masterclass. Many pros from all around the world and coaches as well has come together to make the perfect masterclass for you. Full with almost 150 videos. I personally am going to be releasing a Fighting Masterclass video on the Masterclass soon, so make sure you get it before then. You can use code JKC for 17% off the bundle. Now, I call it a third peak, but our third peak is less of a peak and more of a little building move that turns into a peak that is very, very, very kind of unexpected. Now, you have a player up here. Now, this could happen in any fight. You can just use this trick and you can get a shot off. But let's say that up here in this scenario, what we're going to do is we're going to double it off to the side like this. We're then going to jump and wall boost around to the side and hit a shot. Now, you can hit the shot before you build, or you can build and then hit the shot. Personally, it is harder to do the one where you shoot and then build because you can oftentimes end up on a different layer to them. But I would recommend just trying both and just seeing which one you like best. It's super hard doing slow, but this is what it looks like in fast. If you want to practice it, you can obviously do it in next to a box. So if you build a box here, you can practice just jumping onto this wall and just building up and flicking off it like that. But that's all I've got for you on this one. It's a hard one. You're going to have to practice it, but it can come in very useful in a fight. If you end up just flying out of nowhere and hitting a shot, the enemy is going to be surprised. Now, this next one is super, super underrated. And you might have heard of it before. In fact, I know you've heard of it before, because this is the window edit. Now, you might be saying, Jacob, we're talking about being invisible in fights. Well, window edits, you can definitely be invisible, especially if you use the strategy that a lot of pro players use, and that is running into your wall edits. So you see if we select it here, you can see there's a little outline, and that is actually where it's gonna confirm. And if we put ourselves here, we are out the way of the square, but we're not out of the way of the window. So you need to make sure you're looking at this specifically. So we're now out of the way. you can see we're out of the way like this. And this means that you can kind of start going to the right as you confirm it, hit it, and then reset it like that. So you can hit then reset. People might try for the pre-fire, they might miss, and then you can come in and hit them. Or they might try to take the wall back. Well, the reason this is so good is you're out the way for the initial, and then you come in and reset real fast. So you're kind of like on the way as you confirm. It is very useful, and that is how you stay invisible. Because that shot is going to come out of nowhere. You want to make sure you're not too out in the open like this. You just want to make sure you are maximum coming in for so you can take the shot. And you're not hitting the wall, and then you can instantly reset it. The final one we have for you is a peak of my own creation, and that is the JKC peak. Now, this one is interesting. It's going to take a bit of practice. It might be harder for controller players, but the JKC peak, when done by a skilled player, can take even anyone off guard. Probably even Peter by himself. So the JKC peak is basically this. It is this peak. You edit these tiles, and you end up with this peak right here. Now, you have to be quite mechanically gifted to do the JKC peak, but when done right, you literally cannot see the person who's doing it. So in terms of editing, we're going to take it from the middle and go all the way around the outside like this for a more optimal look on it. You can even like get more optimal by doing it that, keeping it more in the middle and the first 4 tiles like that. But once you've done it, you want to make sure you're very to the left side of the box, and then you can crouch, then confirm. And then what you're going to do is jump, hit, and then reset. You want to make sure you reset the wall, and then you can do the same thing. Jump, hit, reset. Now, you only need to crouch when there's a cone in the box, because as you can see, your head's above. When there's no cone in the box, or if you edit your cone like this first, you can get an absolutely beautiful peak just by standing up. What a peak right there. Honestly, JKC peak is still massive. But let's say there was someone on this wall, I could just edit out like this, go around and hit a really nice peak on him, then come back around and be able to piece him up and finish him off. I don't know, it just does seem like a great combo, and since the JKC peak can be done completely optimally, it does seem like a great idea for most players to start using. Obviously, do not use when they're on this layer above you. You can use it when they're above here, and you can still get a good shot off, but not when they're like above here, because they're above here, they can easily see you. If we give you a quick demo, they can see you easily. So just make sure you use the JKC peak in the right situation, and it'll literally be your best peak in your arsenal. As I said, guys, make sure you are subscribing because we're aiming for 18k by the end of February. Scroll down, look at that subscription. If it doesn't say 18k, then you need to subscribe right now to help me out. With that being said, watch another video on the channel. This one is going to show you how Cammy makes it to every single endgame in a solo cash finals and how you can make it too easily.